Welcome back to Built by Days. I'm your host, Mason Carter. Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you were putting in all the work, but the results just weren't adding up? You see people who seem to effortlessly attract success, wealth, and happiness, while you are stuck in a constant, frustrating chase. You push, you strive, you work harder, but it feels like you're running on a treadmill. What if I told you that chasing success is the very reason it stays out of reach? My journey into personal development started with a single idea from a man whose words have shaped generations. His name is Jim Rohn, and he taught a simple yet profound truth. Success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract. The question isn't, what am I getting, but rather, what am I becoming? It's a complete shift in perspective. If you want more, you have to become more. Today, we're going to dive into the core of this philosophy, inspired by Jim Rohn's book, The 5 Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle. We're not going to summarize the book, but rather we're going to unpack some of his most powerful concepts and see how they can transform your life from the inside out. Rohn outlines 5 key pieces: philosophy, attitude, activity, results, and lifestyle. They all fit together, and everything begins with the first one. So let's start with the first and most foundational piece, the power of your personal philosophy. Think about a ship on the open ocean. It's surrounded by the same wind and the same water as every other ship. The same storms hit every vessel. So why do some ships reach their destination while others get lost at sea? It's not the wind, it's the set of the sail. Your personal philosophy is the set of your sail. It's the way you think about life, the conclusions you've reached, and the values you hold. This philosophy, built from every experience, conversation, and book you've ever had, determines how you react to the winds of circumstance. Life throws challenges at all of us. The rich and the poor, the successful and the struggling, we all face disappointment and heartbreak. The difference isn't the challenge itself, but what you choose to do about it. When the wind changes direction, a wise person doesn't curse the wind, they adjust the sail. They change their thinking and their response to keep moving toward their chosen destination. This means taking control of your thought process. It's about consciously reviewing your beliefs and correcting the ones that aren't serving you. As Jim Rohn said, the greatest influence on what we decide to do with tomorrow's opportunity is not going to be circumstance, but rather what and how we think. This isn't an easy task. The book suggests that the only way to change your thinking habits is to constantly input new, valuable information. This is a continuous process of learning from your own experiences, seeking advice from wise people you respect, and studying both the successes and failures of others. We can learn what to do from those who have done well, and what not to do from those who have failed. Think about this. Are you a good observer of the world around you? Are you a good listener, filtering out the noise and only letting in valuable messages that move you closer to your goals? Are you actively reading books that can change your life? Rohn points out that all the information you'll ever need to be rich, happy, and successful has already been written. The question is, how many books have you read lately? The simple disciplines of reading, listening, and observing, practiced every day, are the key to building a powerful personal philosophy. Once you have a sound philosophy, you need to turn it into action. This brings us to the second piece, the power of discipline and daily activity. The journey to failure is often not a single catastrophic event, but a slow, quiet process. It's a few errors in judgment repeated every day. Skipping the gym once becomes skipping it twice. Not reading that book today becomes not reading it all week. These small, seemingly insignificant acts of neglect accumulate over time and lead you far from where you want to be. It's easy to make these mistakes because the negative consequences don't appear immediately. It's like a smoker who feels fine after one cigarette, but the long-term effects are devastating. The formula for success is the opposite. It's a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Waking up a little earlier, spending 10 minutes reading a book, making a phone call you've been putting off. Each of these small, disciplined acts creates a positive ripple effect. The cumulative effect of these daily disciplines is where true progress is made. Imagine what your life would look like in a year if you consistently invested in these small, positive actions. The book asks, why do we complain but remain the same? Why do so many of us curse the effect but nourish the cause? The answer is a lack of daily discipline. You cannot rule a city until you can rule your own spirit and your own habits. The change starts small, within you. Now, the third piece is all about results. It's the natural outcome of a sound philosophy and disciplined activity. It's the harvest that comes from your efforts. A farmer who plants only a handful of seeds in the spring cannot expect a bountiful harvest in the fall. Similarly, if you put in minimal effort, you cannot expect significant results. The good news is that your current results are a perfect indicator of your future. If you're not happy with what you're getting, you need to change your philosophy, your attitude, and your activity. Doing more is part of the answer, but the real solution is becoming more, so that your increased potential is reflected in everything you do. This is the core idea of attracting success. As you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, you increase your value. And as your value grows, so do your results. Think of it like this. Having more doesn't make us more. It merely magnifies what we already are. If you can't manage a few pennies, you'll never be able to manage a fortune. The discipline is the same. The final two pieces are a little different because they're the purpose of all this work, results and lifestyle. The book defines lifestyle as the art of living well, a skill to be mastered, not an automatic reward for wealth. Many people wait to be happy until they have enough money, but Jim Rohn argues that happiness must precede success. It's a cause, not an effect. You don't need to wait for a specific income level to appreciate the treasures of life. You can find joy and richness in the smallest moments, in watching your children learn to ride a bike, regardless of whether it's new or secondhand. Lifestyle is about living joyfully and appreciating the beauty around you now, and that appreciation makes all your hard effort more meaningful and productive. So how do all these pieces fit together? It's a loop. Your philosophy, what you think and believe, determines your attitude. Your attitude dictates your activity, the actions you take. Your activity over time produces your results, and your results create your lifestyle. If you want to change the picture, you have to start at the source. You have to go to work on yourself. Jim Rohn said, "It is easy to achieve success and happiness, and it is easy not to achieve them. The final result of your life will be determined by whether you made too many errors in judgment repeated every day, or whether you dedicated your life to a few simple disciplines practiced every day." The clock is ticking. You have the ability to achieve whatever you want, but the journey must begin right now, today. The journey to a better life is a journey of 1,000 steps, and it starts with one small discipline you start practicing today. What is the one error in judgment you will stop repeating? Answer that question for yourself, then act. Thank you for listening to Built by Days. I'm your host, Mason Carter, and I'll see you next time.